Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi. I'm Wendy Erickson. I'm your worship assistant today, but our minister, Reverend Kathy McCall, is taking this week off. So we have a special guest speaker, Reverend Barbara. Well, you can't see behind the podium, sorry. Lectern, podium lectern. Okay. But I will introduce her further in a while. Welcome to Unity North Spiritual Center in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. We're an inclusive community and we welcome all people. We are part of a larger unity movement, which was founded by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore in 1890, and basically as a result of their personal healing. And Unity is also we are part of the group that is the publishers of the Daily Word magazine. We have been holding prayer vigil for 134 years through Silent Unity, the prayer ministry of Unity. We welcome our prayer chaplain today, who is Nancy Helvig. She's here in our audience, and the phone number will show on in our chat. And she will pray with you after service if you give her a call. The phone number, again, will be on the chat and in announcements later. Our production team today includes Tracy and Martha, who have been diligently making sure we're all up and ready to go. Yay. We're grateful. Our musicians, favorites of mine, Amy and Adams. Please welcome them. And now, our vision and mission statements. They're coming up on our screen here in a moment. Okay. Please join me in speaking our vision and mission statements. Our vision, centered in prayer, we create for all a world of love, harmony, and abundance. Our mission statement, celebrating spirit, exploring truths, awakening hearts, inspiring dreams, serving community. And beneath you see our values listed. Thank you. Now it's time for our opening song. And Amy and Mark will lead us. Please
I'm ready
stand.
for a miracle. This is a short song. Let's do it twice.
I'm ready for a miracle, ready for a miracle, I'm ready for a miracle today. Oh, hallelujah. I got my mind in tune for one, I'm ready to experience one, I'm ready for a miracle today. My mind is open, ready to receive it. My heart is open, open all the way. I do accept a miracle, do accept a miracle, I do accept a miracle today. I do receive a miracle, I do receive a miracle, I do receive a miracle today. I'm ready for a miracle, oh, yeah. Ready for a miracle, I'm ready for a miracle today. Oh, hallelujah. I got my mind in tune for one, I'm ready to experience one, I'm ready for a miracle today. My mind is open, ready to receive it. My heart is open, open all the way. I do accept a miracle, I do accept a miracle, I do accept a miracle today. I do receive a miracle, I do receive a miracle, I do receive a miracle today.
Thank you very much, Amy and Mark, for your great opening song. I'm glad we sang it twice. This is the time in our service when we greet one another. So if anyone is visiting us for the first time, we welcome you to our service. If you're here in person and would like to know more about Unity, please see me or any of the ushers after service. so we may answer any questions you might have. For new visitors online, if you wish, you could share your contact information in the chat with Unity North, which goes directly to us and remains private. We welcome you all wherever you are on your spiritual journey. We got people waving. I love it. So let's take a moment and wave to each other like we're doing. And also wave to those on Zoom, which people are doing, absolutely. So we welcome you. Again, it is our delight to have all of you with us today. And now, we are going to take a moment for prayer requests. We've just taken the time to greet each other, welcoming all of us here for our purpose of spiritual exploration, moving forward on our spiritual journey. Let's take a breath or two to further center ourselves. As you breathe in, bring peace, love, and joy within, and release stress, worry, and fear on your exhales. Instead of saying our requests aloud, we invite you to speak a name or a prayer silently in the sanctuary or aloud in the privacy of your own home. And we will hold these requests in silence. We give thanks in advance for answered prayers, and we say thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Let us remain still and centered as I read our daily word. Today's daily word for Sunday, January 12th, 2024 is gratitude. Practicing gratitude leads me to the best life has to offer. Finding the good in situations, even undesirable situations, and feeling grateful is a spiritual superpower. When I practice gratitude, I am living my faith that blessings of all kinds are constantly unfolding and the goodness of God is in all things. Gratitude keeps me positive, helping me to expect the best and not the worst. It opens my heart to the existing blessings and primes me to receive even more. When I live with an attitude of gratitude, I am simply magnetic. I go forth with the expectation I will have what I need when I need it. I will meet the people I need to meet and be in the right place at the right time. In prayer, I give grateful thanks and rest assured my highest and best outcomes are on their way to me. From Psalm 136, verse 1. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. Today's daily word for January 12th is gratitude. Practicing gratitude leads me to the best life has to offer. And now, Amy and Adams will prepare for us with a meditation. It will be followed by our guest speaker, Reverend Barbara Winter-Martin, leading us in meditation.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
I invite you to get comfortable in your chair. Take a few gentle breaths. Let the floor in your chair support you as you relax. And as you continue to gently breathe, I invite you to gently let your focus rest on your heart space. Know that you may choose to follow my words or you may go elsewhere. Wherever you go will be perfect. And in this quiet time, I affirm my beliefs and my knowing. For I know that Godness is an energy of love and creation that flows through all, sustains all, surrounds all, and is all. I know that the universe is constantly conspiring for our good, sending us blessings and gifts and guidance. I know that life emanates from me. I create my world with my thoughts, my beliefs, and my energetic frequencies. And I know there is no need for struggle, and I can let go and surrender to the universal flow of life. And that life with a capital L will take over and handle all the details. And nothing is required of me to be worthy. I am worthy simply because of who I am. And if we will take time, once a day at least, to let go of all that is not true, all the doubt, distrust, worry, condemnation, and fear, and then lay hold of divine life in all its expressions of beauty and truth and wholeness. When we do that, we are healed. And so now in this moment, we let the love of God flow through us, and we are healed. We let the paraphrased words of Charles Fillmore wash over us. You don't even have to follow the words in your mind. Simply relax and let their energy enfold you. It is your mission to express all that you can imagine God to be. Let that be your standard of achievement. Never lower it. If you can imagine that it is possible to God, it is also possible to you. God, Spirit, the divine, is that from which all love springs. Its character is love and protection and providing care for us, God's offspring. Spirit is personal to me when I recognize the divine within me as my indwelling life and intelligence, and love, power. I pronounce every experience good and of God, and by that mental attitude I call forth only the good. What seems error disappears, and only the good remains. This is the law. Jesus of Nazareth demonstrated the law of God, and his word was powerful. And as I dedicate my whole life to the supreme good, I too fulfill the law, and I have all the power as well. my faith in spirit and the ultimate dominance of the good in all will restore me to the heavenly consciousness from which I descended. For heaven is everywhere present. It is the orderly, lawful adjustment of God's kingdom in my mind, body, and affairs. My real self is that which says, I am. It can't be described because description is limitation. And my real self is unlimited in its capacity to be. It is the all possibility. It is love. And so with these understandings, I claim a new life each day. A life of love, peace, joy, and plenty. Today I claim a new life, a life of love and peace, joy, and plenty. And so it is. I just invite you to take a few more gentle breaths. Feel your life energy flowing through you, all the way out to your fingers and your toes and the tip of your nose. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes, feeling alert, yet relaxed, energized, yet at peace.
Open my eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Place in my hand the wonderful key that shall unclasp and set me free. Silently now I wait for thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me, Spirit divine. Sing that with us when we come to it next time. Open my ears that I may hear voices of truth thou sendest clear. And while the wave notes fall on my ear, everything false will disappear. Silently now I wait for thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me, Spirit. Sound good. Open my mouth and let me bear gladly the warm truth everywhere. Open my heart and let me prepare love with thy children thus to share. Silently now I wait for thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my heart, illumine me, Spirit divine. Open my heart, illumine me, Spirit divine. I'd like to add a verse especially for me. Please close my mouth and let me hear.
Thank you very much. I love that song. So, our speaker today is Reverend Barbara Winter Martin. Many of us know her, some of you don't, maybe. Reverend Barbara is the former spiritual leader at Unity of Sartell, which is near St. Cloud, Minnesota. She served as an interim minister here for 6 months at Unity North in 2018 and has been a guest speaker on occasion since then. Please welcome her back.
Good morning. It's always so fun to be here with you all. I had an opportunity recently. I reconnected with someone who had heard me speak back in the day when I was still speaking full time. And so we went out to dinner, and she got out a notebook. And she said, I used to take notes. That's a little intimidating. And she said, so here, and she opened to the first page, and the first one was a joke. And so she said, do you remember the punchline to this? I said, no, I don't. So this is what it was. Anyways, 3 words you don't want to hear when you're wearing a bathing suit. Good for you. Yeah, I was very deep back then, obviously, you could tell. Yeah. Anyway. But anyway, so that was good fun. So I thought, well, I have to bring that back, absolutely. So anyhow, but I was thinking this week, and I was one of my favorite Fillmore quotes, and it's your mission to express all that you can imagine God to be. That's a high calling, isn't it? And it goes on to say, let this be your standard of achievement, never lower it. If you can imagine that it is possible to God, it is also possible to you. That's a high bar, isn't it? I love that. And then he goes on to say, God never performs miracles if by miracle is meant a departure from universal law. Whatever the prophets did was done by the operation of laws inherent in being and open to the discovery of every man and woman. It's old language, but you get the gist of this. It's like, okay. And then, to sort of in language that's more everyday, I do like to refer usually to Ernest Holmes. And he says, a miracle is merely something we are not accustomed to seeing or experiencing. Kind of a different definition, isn't it? I like that. He says, in reality, there are no miracles. For what seems to be a miracle is but the effect of a supremely natural law. Then he goes on to say kind of my favorite part. He says, the faith that can bring about the least demonstration can bring about the greatest. And I remember when I first got into Unity, we were really big into manifesting parking spots. Did you ever do that? That was the practice, right? It was like, just manifest a good parking spot. And it's like, good, and got good at that. We could manifest some great parking spots. Well, if you can manifest a parking spot, you can manifest anything, according to these wise people. And I think they're right. So I was thinking about that, that we get to redefine, the idea of miracles, and moving into it means that we have to shift our understanding a little bit. And well, the Course in Miracles says, if you're not experiencing miracles daily, you're out of alignment. I like that. If you're not experiencing something new, because we're expanding beings, and I don't mean, expand, okay? Just to get clear, I want to make it real clear what I've got, I'm asking for here, is this kind of expansion. Anyways, we are expanding. The universe is expanding. It's all that. We are to evolve, and that's not about miracles. It's about experiencing things that we hadn't experienced previously. So my question to you be, what would I do next if I didn't believe it was impossible? What would I do next if I didn't believe it was impossible? You just might want to think about that, because that might give you a direction for some potential expansion. In Unity, we talk about beliefs, we talk about our faith, and we have some wonderful beliefs here. And to me, when we're talking about faith, we're talking about our knowing. So my beliefs kind of reside up in here. My knowing is in my heart space. And that comes from, that knowing is from experience, usually for me. And so that, You can't, and my beliefs can wobble. You're knowing, once you know something, you know it, and it won't wobble. And so I was thinking about some of our beliefs, because we've got great beliefs here in New Thought. One is that God is the energy of love and creation that flows through all, sustains all, surrounds all, and is in fact is all. Beautiful, isn't it? And if you are, and where that belief came in, probably you had to make room because you might have had an old belief that maybe I did at least. Mine was that God is a judgmental man. He was a man, I want you to know that. Yeah, it was to be feared, and you have to be very, very good to gain favor. That was my thing. And you have to beg and plead and bargain with this God, and he punishes here and in the afterlife. Now that was my early beliefs about godness, and then it moved over and I replaced it. I have on occasion regressed to that one. Unwisely once, I had friends who were really good skiers, and they decided to go to Jackson Hole, Wyoming to go on a ski vacation. And I thought that would be fun. I've never skied. Perhaps Jackson Hole is not the place for a person who's never put on skis before, for those of you that know about skiing. I learned that. So I get to Jackson Hole. First day, I did all right. The second day, they closed the beginner mountain. So I had to go up the intermediate chair. And after I rolled off. I did it. And then I looked down. And I looked down for a really long time because actually there were people who skied down, came back up the chair, and I saw them again and they skied back down. Well, I was still standing there trying to decide what I was doing there. And that's when I went to the old God and I made a deal. I said, if you let me get down alive, I promise I will never do this again. And I can say I have not skied since, downhill, and that is probably very wise. But but I regressed into that old idea of the bargaining type, God, and it's okay if we go, we're doing our best at all times, and that was the best I could do on the top of that mountain in that moment. But it's like we're moving in our beliefs, and if that's a belief you have about God, and then it becomes a knowing that you know that it's not that judgmental experience, and it's not your old vision. I had him, with a long beard and the whole thing. I had pictures, So it's another belief we have, that the universe is constantly conspiring for our good, sending blessing, gifts, and guidance. Isn't that great? And then some days it may not be my experience, though. And I might be regressing back to some older beliefs. The old belief, the world is a scary place. Our job is to stay one step ahead of the terrorists, the super germs, the dysfunctional in-laws, whatever. It's kind of like to survive. That's kind of that kind of deal. Or I heard someone say, life sucks and then you die. Well, that's that's not a belief I really want to hang on to. So I really, do like what Fillmore says, you pronounce every experience a good and of God, and by that mental attitude you call forth only the good. So I want to be calling forth only good, don't we? Want to be doing that? I definitely do. So it's like, it's good to take inventory to find out where I am in my beliefs. And if you want to know, kind of what are you acting from? Are you making your choices from your belief, the old one or the new one sometimes? It's just a little barometer I use on occasion. New belief. Life emanates from me. I create my world with my thoughts, my beliefs, and my energetic frequencies. We were talking about that, right? That's one of our main principles here at Unity, is that we create our reality. The old belief is life happens to me. I'm an innocent bystander, a pitiful victim of circumstances, of the weather, of disease, of my own dysfunction, whatever it might be. But when we think about that, if our world is created by our thoughts, we're not all living in the same world, are we? Yeah, and I had to take notice of that, because my assumption is everybody is going to agree with what my worldview is, and they don't, which is probably good some days anyway. But the thing is everyone by their thoughts is creating their reality. So we really live in millions and billions of different realities, don't we? And for some of you, I don't want your reality. So I had a very dear friend the other day who was wanting to share her reality about my microwave. And I said, don't tell me. she had news about my microwave. And I said, I like my microwave. I use my microwave. Do not tell me that, because I do not want to borrow your reality, because I like mine the way it is. That may not serve me well, or it may serve me well. I don't know. But it's to be careful of whose, beliefs we are willing to, and then picture out. I want to make sure that they're ones that I really would enjoy. So, when people have nice things that they're talking about, I want to be part of that. When they're talking about things that aren't so pleasant, I'm going to be, wanting to not spend that much time, in that conversation. It's okay. Because we know these things about our power and what we can create. Another belief, no need for struggle. You can let go. You can surrender to the universal flow of life with a capital L, and it'll take care of all the details. I love that. Because I don't know about you, but I kind of am in control. Controlling was my thing for a really long time. Because I thought that would be the way I could keep myself safe. I could do all kinds of things. I had a lot of good, rationalizations for wanting to have a lot of control. And it's not a bad thing. It's just an is. I create vision boards. Have you done vision boards? Many of you probably have. And you put on all kinds of pictures and details. And I never get exactly what's on my vision board. I usually get something a lot better. But I get the felt experience of what I was picturing. I don't know if you experience that as well. So the vision board is about having that felt sense of what it feels like to have those, whatever I was out picturing out there on that board. It's not the particulars, because the particulars are not really that important, are they? And I can let go of the details and count on the universe provides me better details than I ever could have imagined. And so once I finally caught on to that, it was like, oh, I can relax a lot. Fillmore says heaven is everywhere present. So it's like if I am really in that belief and I am taking that into my knowing, then I'm going to be looking around for just pieces of heaven anyway, aren't I? And just looking around for those heaven experiences to draw them to me. Pam Grout, if some of you are familiar with her work, she wrote Eat Cubed is the book, and in that she says, hard is a 4-letter word that is one of the most dangerous words in the English language. Hard. It's especially damning when combined with something you want to accomplish, such as lose weight, change your thinking, attract money, get a hot date. If you say those things are hard to do, they will in fact be hard to accomplish, won't they? So she's saying, you might want to get that out of your vocabulary completely. She goes on to say, every moment we waste on worst case scenarios undermines our ability to create the true and the beautiful. Every moment we spend worrying erects a block between us and all the signs and opportunities, and yes, blatant love that is here for the sole purpose of our enjoyment. Well, I do not want to block that. I don't know about you, but I like blatant love that's here for my sole enjoyment. Please, bring it on in all its shapes and forms. And it kind of goes into our fifth belief I'm talking about is you don't have to do anything to be worthy of all that love. Now, I wasn't brought up that way necessarily. I was brought up that you were inherently flawed. In fact, my religion had names for that. And so I didn't feel worthy of all the good stuff. So then I remember more information you probably need to know. I remember when nice guy would ask me out in college, and I would say, oh, you're too nice. You don't want to go out with me. What was I thinking? But I actually said that. That was how flawed I felt I was, that I was unworthy of the good stuff in life. I've changed my mind. I've changed my mind on that, but And it was reinforced too, because I was kind of thinking about my college years when I was going over this belief, and I was pledging a sorority, and I still have the mantra that I learned to pledge that sorority, and that is, I am so low, so very, very low, that the spots on a snake's belly look like the stars in the sky. Is that not hysterical? I was like, oh yeah, that's what they had us say over and over again. it didn't stick. It was okay. But it was like, but I was like, oh my goodness, isn't that not a hoot? Yeah. And yeah, the spots on a snake's belly, I don't even like to think about that anyway, but it's like we're stars in the sky. And it was like, oh, okay. So there have been other institutions that reinforce us feeling badly about ourselves. We can let them all go. I love what Julie McIntyre, she's the director of the Center for Earth Relations. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. Does it not? Center for Earth, it sounds like they're, I don't know. But anyway, she says, there's a point when you know without a doubt, without hesitation, that you cannot go back to your old limited life. Have you experienced that? Where you know too much? And it says you cannot be who you once were and also have a new life. Our old beliefs give us one life. Our new beliefs, the ones that that we welcome in, that's a whole different way of being. It's a whole different way of walking through this lifetime. And the thing that can hold us back is if we stay imprisoned to those old ideas. So it's like take a wrecking ball to your old beliefs, if you've got any of those that I mentioned, or they trickle in at times. We can just let them go. And surrender instead to the all-loving, all-powerful energy force that's bigger, bolder, and brighter than anything we've ever seen before. Because that's the kind of good definition of godness, isn't it? It's bigger, bolder, brighter. It's there for us all the time. In as much as I was still thinking back to my college years, you've got more stories there. When I was thinking of that, did you ever do trust falls? Remember those things? Yeah, that was where you go to a convention or a conference or something, and they get a whole bunch of people in a circle, and then the idea is you're supposed to just lean back and trust that they will catch you. They've had varying results at times, but that, as I recall. But the idea was that if you fall back, all those people that care about you will catch you. And I was thinking about that, but it's a good picture in my mind because the universe has our back and catches us. And is always, it's like, and you can't screw up your life. You can delay your good. I have done that on occasion. I don't know if any of you have. But you can't screw it up. Isn't that good to know? We can't. We just can put some roadblocks and some time outs in front of us that keep the good from coming in. And so now I'm at the point in my life when I want to get rid of all those roadblocks, I want to all those things, and just let the good come. And I'm going to just lean back like in a trust fall that the universe has got me. And that you just make a choice. Assume it's going to be good, and it will be. And so when I was thinking about all of this, the author, Amit Kalantri, came to mind. And he says, theories may inspire you, but experiments will advance you. Because how do you get a belief here down into your heart space? Well, if you've been on the planet for as long as I have, you'll have some life experience. And that'll help you get into the knowing of your heart. But if you don't have that yet, how do you move it down? And one way you can do it is to do spiritual experiments so that you can help solidify your knowing that what we're talking about is, in fact, the truth. And it works 100% of the time. So I'm going to invite you to do some experiments this week. And I even made handouts, oh my goodness, that you can pick up at the end, and so that you can have this information so you don't have to think too hard right now. But anyways, first experiment, I would invite you to start this tomorrow morning. Now, first off, if any of you know much about rhinoceroses, I'm not sure how you do it. Anyway, they have bad eyesight. At 15 feet, they can't tell a human from a tree. But you still probably don't want to get close to them because they're big and they've got that giant tusk. It's probably not a good thing. And when they're startled, they run really fast. The good news is that they can't see well, and when they get startled, they start running in the direction they were facing. And they just keep going. So if you were in front of them, you could just step out of the way. You might jump out of the way. And they just keep on going until they either get tired or they are no longer feeling threatened. And our thoughts, I think, can be like spooked, nearsighted rhinos at times. That the momentum gets in there and it's hard to change them. So just do a little experiment to see what happens if we just start tweaking how we think. This experiment is going to take 5 seconds tomorrow morning. You've got 5 seconds to do this. You can do it before you put your feet on the floor or after you get back from the restroom, whichever you need to do. But first thing, technically, okay? And that is, you're going to say to yourself out loud, something amazingly awesome happens to me today. That's all you're going to say. Something amazingly awesome happens to me today. Those 5 seconds can change the trajectory of your day, and I would say of your life. That's all you have to say. And it's an experiment. You're going to observe then, that's what experiments are. You observe what happens in your day. Now there's 2 parts to it. The first one is, you say that, something amazingly awesome happens to me today. The second part is you are going to be in amazed gratitude for everything that happens. For everything. So you get a raise, you go, that's amazing, thank you, universe. You get fired tomorrow. You go, well, that's amazing, thank you. You're getting the drift on this. You get stopped by the police. You go, that's amazing, thank you. You gain 3 pounds, you go, thank you. You lose 2, whatever you need, it's like you're getting the drift here. It's like whatever happens tomorrow, you are in amazed gratitude for it. And then just observe what starts happening. And then continue to do that. And then we're going to add on another experiment that you'll do. And this one is to prove that your thoughts and feelings and beliefs produce events that we sometimes call synchronicity or coincidence. But it's just the universe bringing us all our good. So there was a story about a 92-year-old man who had gone to the doctor to get a physical. He didn't look very good. He was thin and pale and fragile. His vital signs weren't good. So the doctor gave the gent some words of solid medical advice. A few months later, the doctor ran into the man walking down the street. He was a changed man. He had gained weight. His color had come back in his cheeks. He looked strong and healthy. And to top it off, he had a gorgeous young lady on his arm. The doctor stopped to marvel at his improvement and said, I can't believe it. You look terrific. What happened to you? The man replied, what do you mean what happened to me? I'm just doing what you said to do. Get a hot mama and be cheerful. The doctor said, you old fool, I didn't say get a hot mama and be cheerful. I said, you've got a heart murmur, be careful. But what did he hear? He heard, and it works. So, well, anyhow, you get my drift here, is that the thing is what you believe. So I'm going to have you look for 8 things this week, and they're written down too. I'm going to have you look, that's going to happen starting on Tuesday. Start keeping track of this. A belly laugh. You can get them before Tuesday. It's okay. A toy from your childhood. One of your favorite songs from high school. You'll hear it played. The number 222, a beach ball, a senior citizen in a fashionable hat, a smile from a baby, and a billboard with a message just for you. I'm going to look for these things this week. You will find them all. I looked in the mirror because I'm a senior, I put on a hat. That was easy. But, the thing is, you're going to just look for these things to start seeing how the universe, what you say you would like to see, the universe is going to provide that for you if you pay attention. So that's the second experiment. There actually are 3. And the third one, well, it's in the quantum world, in the world of infinite possibilities, no reality is truer than another, is it? That's at least what the scientists say. And that there are no absolutes. But we have told ourselves stories about ourselves that have become locked in, that become our absolutes. Here are some beliefs that you might hold about yourself that have become absolutes. It's kind of, you can see what I'm talking about. If you said, I've never been that great at relationships. I sometimes suffer from depression. I have trouble sleeping. I'm not photogenic. I hate to exercise. I've never been organized. I'm lousy at math. I've got lousy follow through. I can't sing, cook, sew, whatever it might be. I have trouble meeting people. You just pick, those are the kind of things that may be kind of the titles for some of the stories that you've told about yourself that now have got cemented in. And what I would say to you are no more based in truth than the opposite. So the experiment is, pick one that you have repeatedly said and believed. Pam Grout says, pick an identity that we've born like a pair of our favorite jeans, one that you really identify with, that you can really justify. And then know that that is no more true than the opposite, actually, in the world of infinite possibility. Check this out. It's an experiment. I may be wrong, but if you do the experiment, you can decide for yourself. So the experiment is to take a reality you've believed as absolute fact and look for proof of the exact opposite in your own life. And write down all the opposites you find. So I was thinking about that, and so one of the stories that I would tell at times is that I can't sing. And then I thought about it. I thought, okay, but you were the soloist in your church. Probably they wouldn't keep you for a really long time if you couldn't sing. At the talent shows they have, they always had you sing last. And I think they were doing a build-up. I don't think they were going that way. So perhaps. And then it was like, oh, okay. So I started making a list, and it was like, oh, I guess I can sing. And I guess I have been able to sing. So then I should stop saying I can't sing. And so, find something in your life that you have been saying absolute surety that you're not good at, or it's not something for you. And then the experiment is to write down all the opposites that you have experienced in your life to prove that. The suggestion is, if you do these experiments, you're going to take the beliefs that you have and you're going to start making some shifts, and they're going to move into your heart space even stronger, and they'll become a knowing, and you'll know yourself perhaps more accurately. How the universe sees us and how we see ourselves sometimes don't match. For me, my vision of myself was much more humble, I think, than how the universe saw me and my potential. And so we get the opportunity to take things and to really own them, and to own that we are these magnificent, dynamic, eternal beings in these fabulous earth suits, here to have fun and adventures and to be with each other. And so I invite you to do that. And as Albert Villotto said, when we drop our dreary stories, we are provided in every way with all the abundance of the universe and more. So may this week be an experiment, and may you take into your heart just how amazingly awesome you are. And so it is.
We play in a lot of places, and we ask people to sing along with us, and a lot of people come up to me and say, I can't sing a lick. So I have an answer for that. I always tell them, turn on your radio, turn on your TV, and you'll hear a lot of people who can't sing a lick making millions of dollars doing it.
Well, this is a song I wrote back in 2009 for a church service we had here. So I have Unity Norris to thank for this song. It's called This Day is the Start of a Happy New Year.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da.
This day is the start of a happy new year. Each day I won't give in to my fears. This year will be a gift in itself. This year I can start over again each day, doing the best that I can. And next year I can look back with a smile. This year I'll find the sun in the clouds. This year shine it on all of those doubts. This year I'll make it one of my best. Thank God I've got His love in my heart.
Boy, it helps.
Get me through the of parts I know. This is the key to it all. This year will be a gift in itself each day, opening into such wealth. This day is the first of another new year. This day is the first of another new year. Each day we start a happy new year. Thank you.
So cool. Thank you very much for that wonderful song. I'm glad you wrote it for us, or at least performed it the first time for us. Thank you. Now is the time in our service when we are going to bless our offerings. We invite you to go to our website, unitynorthmn.org, and you can find that button. There's a donation button. It's even on your screen here on the home page, and give your offering there. For those of you in our building, you can leave your offering in the basket at the end of the middle aisle by the door as you exit the sanctuary. If you prefer to mail a check, you can do that too. Our address is on our website. Let us jointly speak our offering blessing. Together. Divine love flowing through me now blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. And now, let's join Amy and Adams in the offering song.
Be joyful in your giving. Be heartfelt in your praise. We are always receiving God's unending grace. Open your heart, Spirit will rise. Love flowing through you will open your eyes to joy that's in the receiver and joy in the giver too. Feel the joy of the Spirit in all you say and do. For God has freely given and freely gives today. If we would be his disciples, then we would do the same. If we would be his disciples, we must do the same.
Thank you again. That's another song that Amy wrote. So, all right. Community news. It's time to learn what's going on. Well, for today, January 12th, our prayer chaplain is Nancy Helvig. And her phone number, as you see, is on our slide there. Today's healing facilitator, yeah, that's me. So as soon as the service is done, I'm going to be flying over there. And make sure people go there and sign up. Men's group, facilitated by Nola Bean, is the second and fourth Saturdays of the month, noon to 1 p.m. There will be 2 more meetings, Saturday, January 25th and February 8th. And then a restructuring of the group will be determined. Okay, if you have questions, contact Noel at the phone number that we've got listed on our sheet here. And then we have some announcements here that we need for Family Table, Family Promise, and our chili cook-off that Kathleen's going to let us know about. And she's coming up.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm going to remember to just eat this microphone this time. I was having too much fun with the girls back there. Sorry. Family table, January 23rd. It's just less than 2 weeks away. Looking for anybody who would like to either donate a ham or give money to purchase a ham. Come see me after service. Family table meal, that's Thursday, is scalloped potatoes and ham slices, a veggie, salad, and cake for dessert. It's a lot of fun. I encourage anybody who has not done this to come join us on a Thursday. It's a lot of fun. And it doesn't require a whole lot of time because it is a delivery service, so it's a they come drive through. I won't say drive by. Drive-through service, so come see me if you'd like to also help serve the meal. Family Promise. Our hospitality week is the February 2nd through the 9th.
Yep.
I will be delivering goods that Monday of that week. They are in need of personal hygiene. There's a sign up on the table over there underneath the TV. Feel free to write your name down. I appreciate anybody who is willing to help support Family Promise. The big deal, chili cook-off. Now, I was told last week that I was like rather dull and boring. I know, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that means I really got to bring it today. And I was working so hard on a little chili cook-off song, but I'm like, oh, come next week. You're going to hear it. But anyways, I have lots of people that signed up for the chili cook-off, which will be happening January 26th. Thank you all who already signed up. I've actually pulled the list. If anybody wanted to sign up and actually bring chili to challenge all the other cooks, let me know and I'll see what I can do about that. But right now we have 8 to 9 people challenging each other. So that's really awesome. January 26th, I encourage you all to be here. I will go through instructions that day as to how we're going to cook determine who has the best chili. But everybody's going to be able to either do a taste test or just, if you want, just to have a bowl of chili. It's a fundraiser for our youth. We're going to be asking for, if you're going to do a taste test, $5 for that, or $5 for a bowl. And second round taste testing, that price will be determined. I'm letting the girls decide that one. So, January 23rd, family table. January 26th, chili cook-off. February 2nd, Family Promise. All good days to remember, and I'll be back next week.
All right. Next is our annual meeting, Sunday, February 16th. Mark your calendars. And in the meantime, it's annual membership renewal time. Please go to the following link and renew before January 31st. And so we have that listed there. It's unitynorthmn.org membership-renewal. So there you go. And book study class is coming up here. We were made for these times. Ooh. It's a great title, isn't it? 10 Lessons for Moving Through Change, Loss, and Disruption. This is by author, I'm assuming it's Kira Jewel Lingo. Do anybody know how we really pronounce her name? Okay, maybe it's Kara. It will be starting Wednesday, January 22nd at 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. It's on Zoom, or 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's an hour and a half. The class is facilitated by Reverend Kathy, Love Offering. We're going to use use the donation button for that. And we're living in times that require new approaches, new tools, new techniques, and the greater commitment to spiritual transformation. That's what this book is going to take you through. We were made for these times. It can be purchased on Amazon. We're going to read 2 chapters a week, and there will be 5 weeks for that class. Whoops, what did I do here? I did. I was blocking everything on my little thing here. So I think that's all the announcements I have. Make sure you sign up for the class. And again, you do that on our website. Okay. And next, our affirmation. We have a community affirmation. I would like for all of you to join me with that, please. All right. Take a deep breath. We choose faith over worry. We choose faith over fear. We practice faith when there's conflicts. We give thanks for faith, always present. And now it's time for our, let's see here. Quick thank you here before we do our prayer for protection. I want to thank everybody who supported the service today. Tracy and Martha, our production team, thank you so very much for getting everything organized and making this flow so smoothly. Amy and Adams, Mark and Amy, thank you so much for being here again, bringing your talents, your gifts, your music for us. We love it. And Reverend Barbara, we love her. We are so grateful. Thank you for your wonderful talk. I can't wait to experiment.
Can we ask a question about your talk? What happened after you made the deal with God on the intermediate hill? You never told us.
Survived.
What happened?
3 hours later, yeah, it took, I just went down that hill, went into the snowdrift, backed out, went like that. Didn't kill anybody on the way down, although I almost ran down a few people. Took me about 3 hours to get down. Yeah. I made it. Never to go up again.
Okay. And now it's time for our prayer for protection. Join me. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And it's time for the peace song. Let's stand.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow.